Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today is July 31st, and today I just wanted to make a big update video, and I'm just gonna jump right into things. So first things first is I've actually been sick over the weekend. I actually developed some sort of stomach virus, came down with this virus, and I've been out of commission this whole weekend, haven't really got much done. Been answering comments, questions, and emails here and there, but really any work related to school or kind of doing YouTube videos or content, haven't been able to really get around to that. Today I'm actually feeling a lot better, and I actually had to miss a trip to Toronto where I was supposed to go to Toronto with some friends, and we were going to catch the Toronto FC and New York City FC game on Sunday, which was yesterday, but had to back out last minute, and that trip had been planned for a while, but due to just coming down with this virus, I wasn't able to go, and I was in no shape to really leave my house or really do much at all. So that was the first thing I wanted to touch on. But with regards to that too, an update with my MRI. So I have my results. I picked them up on the Friday, and I ended up going over them with a doctor at the clinic that I go to, as I tried to book an appointment with my family doctor to kind of go over things, but he is going on vacation, and so I won't be able to see him for probably a few weeks or whatnot. So I ended up going to the clinic, but I didn't go to the clinic for that specific reason to go over the MRI results, rather just to kind of see what was going on with my stomach and to see what issues I was having, because I was in a lot of pain with regards to my stomach. Now I'm pretty good, but went there, but as I was there too, we went over my MRI results, which is good just to kind of get that out of the way. And I had picked up kind of my MRI report and the disc that goes with it with the imaging. So I have that as well. For the most part, the results are all good. Nothing kind of bad or nothing new has really come up since my previous MRI from 3.5 years ago. Everything is pretty good and positive for the most part, but we'll talk about that in a future video, which I will do kind of a little bit of a webinar where I'll share my previous MRI report with my current MRI report, and I'll show some of the imaging with regards to my spinal disc and some things that have changed over time. And I'll kind of touch on some of the implications regarding that and just what it kind of means with my results now. Also, some big updates with regards to my master's thesis as well. First thing is that the Research Ethics Board has got back to me with regards to their approval of my project. Now, they haven't officially approved it. They just have some comments and questions regarding a few things. Very little nitpicky things, which is kind of a headache, but I'm sure if anyone else that has gone through kind of a master's thesis and has done research on human participants, you'd probably know this process. And just to kind of give you an example, some things has to do with the recruitment process, is how specifically we're going to be using social media to kind of recruit participants, and just kind of some ethical things as well with regards to our recruitment, which just like little small things, but nevertheless not a big issue. And also another update with regards to my master's is I actually will be doing my thesis proposal presentation 2 weeks from today. I'll be doing it on August 14th, which is Monday at 10 a.m. So that is a big step once I kind of get that presentation done and over with, as that will lead me into the next kind of process with regards to my master's, which is collecting data and starting the training study. And it's just a big step in the right direction and a big step towards the completion of my master's. So that's big news as well. So I'll be kind of preparing that, preparing for my presentation as I already have been, but just kind of hitting things down and making sure I know everything and fine-tune everything with regards to my presentation right now, is what I'll be doing. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is I have 2 books here. So first, I actually, since I have been sick and whatnot, I've been reading a lot, and I just kind of been in bed reading a lot since I have been sick over the weekend. And I actually finished this book, which is called Millionaire Fastlane. Just a business book. So I don't know if anyone's interested in business, but it's a great book, very eye-opening in terms of just the process of how to kind of build a business and looking to kind of making money in terms of entrepreneurship. Really eye-opening book, and I actually really enjoyed it, by MJ DeMarco. Very good book. If anyone's interested in business, it's a good book to read. But also with regards to that, Back Mechanic, haven't finished the book, but I've gone through the first 10 chapters. For those of you who don't know what Back Mechanic is, it's the book by Stuart McGill, and basically a step-by-step process for the layperson to kind of get out of back pain and make their own recovery and own rehab. And I must say, phenomenal book. A lot of things that are in this book I specifically talk about on my YouTube channel. Now, the things I talk about are specifically because I've learned from Stuart McGill himself a lot of the things. But with regards to this book, though, there are a lot of little things that you know, I never really thought about or never really kind of addressed and talked about. And it's little things like sneezing with back pain. You know, if you have flexion-based back pain, how should you sneeze properly? Or what's the way to sneeze to kind of to reduce maybe the onset of pain or your pain triggers? He also kind of gets into other things that people don't really talk about, like with regards to even sex positions, which is something you don't always hear about with regards to back pain and whatnot. But I also like his just take on, he has a little paragraph on chiropractors and clinicians in terms of who, or if they are good people to work with, or just kind of his whole opinion on looking out for a clinician or whatnot. But I also like he dispels a lot of myths out there with regards to non-specific back pain, kind of the studies being done out there with regards to research. Really good book overall. I would say the only thing that I think, kind of reading through this book now, I haven't completely finished it. The one thing that I feel like may help or could have been emphasized a little bit better is, and this is something I always talk about, is that exercise should not be done in pain. And I feel like he talks about it in the book, but it's not heavily emphasized, and I feel like it should be, because when he starts talking about the non-negotiable big three exercise, the McGill crunch, the kind of side plank regression, which I refer to, and then the bird dog, he kind of talks about it, you should only do them as they are tolerable to you, but there's no emphasis as to doing exercise, you shouldn't be doing exercise in pain. And the point I'm just trying to make is that I'm always recommending people avoid exercises that cause them pain. And if a certain exercise is causing you pain, you should avoid it until the pain comes down. Because the reason being is, if someone has, for instance, sciatica, the sciatic nerve is going to be probably really inflamed and swollen. So there's going to be probably an accumulation of a lot of inflammatory markers, IL-6, IL-1, tumor necrosis factor, which are going to be accumulating, and that may pose a problem when maybe performing an exercise like a McGill crunch or bird dog, when an individual is kind of creating some stiffness in their spine. It may cause maybe a little bit of irritation on that nerve root. If maybe a disc is hitting the nerve root, and there could be more accumulation of those inflammatory markers causing more pain and triggering the onset of pain. The only point I'm trying to make is that I think for maybe the lay person, it would have been better just to maybe highly emphasize that. That's just my opinion though, because people should never be doing exercise in pain. And I feel like maybe someone may go to try certain exercises out, which people will sometimes never know if an exercise is causing them pain until they actually try it, which is fine, but you should never continue to do an exercise if it's causing you pain, is all I'm kind of trying to say, and you should only do it as it's tolerable. So he kind of talks about it. I'm just saying it may be better emphasized for the reader if it's kind of more bolded or kind of stated. That's the only thing that I'd say could make it a little bit better, the book, just from my perspective and opinion. Overall though, I highly recommend this book to anyone in back pain or is looking to get out of back pain. For $35, I mean, I would recommend this book over many physical therapists, chiropractors, or doctors out there. This book has a lot more information in there that you will learn than from any physical therapist, chiropractor, doctor out there. Not saying every kind of PT, chiro, clinician, or doctor out there. As the really good ones, you will definitely learn more, but obviously it might cost a lot of money if you're going to be working with the experts out there in the field. But for $35, I'm telling you, you will learn a lot, as opposed to going to a PT or chiro for continuous sessions where you may be paying $30 to $50 to maybe $100 per session, 3 times per week over multiple months. So that's just my kind of recommendation, guys, or suggestion and kind of thoughts regarding the book so far. I haven't finished it yet. I still have a few more chapters to read, as I've only read the first 10, but probably about 50 pages left or so to read. But overall, fantastic book so far. And anything McGill puts out is pretty much gold in my opinion when it comes to back pain. So that's it for this kind of update video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will also be posting, so I'll be posting my MRI coming up. I'll be doing a little bit of webinar, so stay tuned for that to see that, and we'll kind of discuss my MRI and my results in that future video. So we'll kind of all discuss it there, and then yeah, that's it. So if you guys have any questions, comments, anything, maybe you've gone through your master's, maybe maybe you've got a hold of this book, or maybe you've read Millionaire Fastlane. I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts, maybe what your thoughts are regarding these books, if you've enjoyed them, if you've liked them, and also maybe if you've maybe made a recovery as well from back pain, or maybe this back mechanic book has helped you or not. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I wish you guys all the best and a successful and productive day, and take care.